Welcome folks, Saturday, bridal party over there, or hen party from Germany, lots of people over here. You can probably guess where most people are heading today. The interesting thing is not so much about where people are heading, but the sheer number of police that are in London. So it took me about 40 minutes to get to a spot that normally takes me about 14 minutes. That's the Lanesborough Hotel. We're at Hyde Park Corner. Here we are. Knightsbridge on the sign over there. Entrance to Hyde Park, or one of the entrances to Hyde Park over here. Over there is the bottom of Park Lane. It's Intercontinental Hotel. And over this way, where we're going, is where the protest will be headed a little bit later. I say a little bit later because no one's exactly sure of the time it'll hit the bottom of Park Lane, but just like behind me along Knightsbridge, police everywhere. Look at this, look. Vehicles and police everywhere. TSG, Territorial Support Group. These dark blue vans, some regular, some City of London, a huge influx from all over the place, because if the numbers are like last week, and I think, to be honest, they might even exceed last week's numbers, it's going to need a lot of manpower if something goes wrong. Now, the supposed route is south along Park Lane, and then it's going to cut along onto Piccadilly, so all the way to the bottom of Park Lane, and then a sharp left onto Piccadilly. That supposedly is what's going to happen. I mean, the reality of the situation, no idea. Guess we'll find out. TSG all the way from Kensington through Knightsbridge, all the way along here, Hyde Park Corner. This is Wellington Arch I'm going under now. The road directly in front, between the two pillars, Commonwealth pillars, is Constitution Hill. That leads to the palace. I'm going to ask the police officers here if they know the route. A second. Sorry to bother the officers. Is the route supposedly Park Lane, Piccadilly, or Downing Street?
It's all open, yeah.
What I mean is, so the protest route.
That's the way it's meant to go, yeah.
So they're supposed to come along Park Lane and Piccadilly, yeah? Okay, thank you. Right, there we have it, guys. Directly from the police themselves. So supposedly, as he said, yes, that is the route. Guess we'll find out soon enough. This video might be, I typically like to shoot one thing, you know, boom, one take, that's it, with narration. However, given one, I don't know how long it's going to take them to wind their way down, here are more police vans, wind their way down Park Lane. This video might have a few pauses. I will pause it rather than stopping it, because that way I can obviously easily resume it, so it won't actually look like there have been any breaks. Anyway, that's the plan. Whether that ends up being the reality or not, we will see. This corner's a bit tricky here, getting onto Piccadilly from this side of Hyde Park Corner is a bit of a pain in the whatevers. They try to funnel everybody into this urine-stenched underpass, which I'm obviously actively avoiding, because I prefer, you know, to breathe fresh air instead of urine-infused air. So let me try not to slip into the road. Please look at me like I'm weird. Like, dude, what are you doing? Okay, that's almost it. Right, it's not so busy, luckily, today. Yet. The busy part's coming later. So get myself over to the other side of Piccadilly. It's actually a good thing that it's not so busy, because normally this area is constantly chocker. But the majority of bus routes have either been diverted or are terminating very early. No buses are going along here today. So let me try and get over to the other side. I can have more of an idea of what might be going on the southern end of Park Lane. Oh, this lady's curious as well. Where's the protest? Alright, we will see. Okay, let's head on to Hamilton Place. Just over here, behind the hotel. It's a kind of a bit of a cut through. Officers strategically positioned, like this chap over here, with road closed signs, so they can immediately terminate the passage of traffic if needed. Now, there's no guarantee at all that the protest will arrive at the southern end of Park Lane here at X o'clock. Why? Well, I mean, Park Lane itself is quite a lengthy street. We're walking behind Park Lane. Here's the Intercontinental. Park Lane itself, other side of this building, Intercontinental, is a lengthy street. It's got to be a mile, I would think, roughly. And what's going to need to happen is that all of the traffic will need to be stopped, and depending on the numbers in the protest, marshalled, stewards marshalling, as well as, you know, almost certainly mounted police with the horses in riot kit and so on. The usual. What I am seeing actually just up in front are banners, placards and police. Now, have I magically stumbled? Actually, wait, maybe I should just go in here, in fact, for the day instead. What do we think, people? Nah, that's not interesting. Ooh. Yes, so massed protesters and police. Okay, I might well have just stumbled onto it inadvertently. I have no idea if this is a subgroup or how and in what way this is related to the main body of the protest, but as usual, my mission is to find out. Oh wow. Okie dokie. So it looks like at the moment they're being held. I don't know why they're being held. Police are all over the place. Unsurprisingly. Police sirens in the background, vans in the off streets. 1 second. Officer, they're going along Piccadilly? Yeah?
Down Piccadilly and then Chicago School.
Do you know kind of numbers? A lot of people, or?
We suspect 20,000.
More than last week or less? What do you think? 20,000? Is this the main body, or it goes all the way back up to Marble Arch?
So they're going to start here, go down to Piccadilly, so I think this is the meeting point.
Yikes.
Last Saturday we suspected 20,000 and they ended up being 35,000.
Yeah, we're stuck in the middle. It was a pretty interesting day, to be fair.
Yeah, but because of the ones in the hospital, it might be more this time as well.
Yeah, I can see it probably will be. Not only that, it's stopped raining, so I think more people are going to come out, aren't they? Because it's dry.
Joining in whenever they start walking.
Well, okay, here we go. Thank you. Police are so lovely, in fact. Very kind, polite lady there. Okay, here they are. So they're sort of marshalled, or semi-marshalled. This is where it's going to begin, apparently. Now, what time is it going to begin? I have no idea. I've got no clue. Supposedly, the meet was going to be at Marble Arch at noon. So the fact that there's this many people here now, oh goodness me, it goes right the way back, is something of a surprise. Look, it's an absolute sea all the way back along Park Lane, northward to Marble Arch. Huge numbers again. So the officer said they're expecting maybe 20 odd thousand. Quite a lot, 20, 30,000. More than last week? Don't know, I guess we'll see shortly. We will find out. Okay, and as if by an absolute miracle, the sun's come out. So here we are at the beginning. I say the starting point, beginning, starting point. What time is leaving? What time is everyone's moving to start the march? Yeah? It's like a lot of people again.
They're coming from Marble Arch.
Good numbers, just like last week. Very good numbers, eh? Very solid numbers. You think more, yeah? Lucky that the rain stopped just in time. Super lucky.
You
You really think that many?
last week
Whoa.
Me and my wife came. This
Yeah.
week, my whole family's coming. I'm thinking about 100 people.
Ah, plus a lot of people I think would have come down with their kids because there's no school half term next week. Yeah, it's a good point thinking about it. Wow. Okay.
It's
It's going to be a good day if there's that many, that's for
the
sure.
hospital bombing really kind of took a turn.
Galvanized support, yeah? Yeah, I understand. Yep, I understand. Okay, good luck anyway, yeah, today. Okay, folks, talking to the lovely chap there, he's explaining that the hospital bombing, not getting into the politics situation, the hospital bombing this week apparently has galvanized support considerably over the past few days. He said he came down with his entire family for the weekend to join this. Now, I'm not going to walk all the way up, obviously, because then I'll miss it when it begins. But this is to give you a kind of flavour of the numbers, okay? We are talking, I mean, the officer said, and the police always underestimate the numbers every time. The officer said that she thought 20,000. Now, bear in mind, there are multiple groups scattered along Park Lane. Here comes a second one. If each of these groups is several thousand strong, and they go all the way back northward to Mar Blanche, we're talking about a hell of a lot of bodies. We're talking about, let me think, based on last week, I could honestly see 50, 60, 70,000 plus. Yeah, potentially massively over that. Really depends. No one knows until everybody, you know, kind of arrives and it forms up. On the camera now, it probably doesn't look like us a lot, but trust me, it's a lot. And this is group 2 already. So when these multiple groups all join together, we're going to notice, yeah, massive, massive numbers.
Free, 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 free.
Gosh, we happened to be in exactly the right spot, didn't we? That was rather fortunate. I had no idea it was going to form up here. But anyway, let me get back to the beginning of the process. I like to try and remain at the front. One, that means I don't get stuck when it's very awkward to film when you're stuck and having to worry about people either side of you and in front of you and behind you. If I'm at the front, I can set my own pace. I can run forward, I can double back. So I'm going to head back, but you can see it just goes on and on and on. Look, all the way up the street. Yeah, we're certainly going to be in very reasonable 5 figures, without a doubt. Not only that, actually, once this sort of all crowds together at the bottom here, the spread will go outward and boom, it'll be huge. The crowd will be huge today. Lots of tourists here are kind of like, wait, what's this? Okay. It's starting to get pretty busy, so I'm happy to get myself down to the beginning of the process, which means we can follow it from its genesis, just here behind me. Boom. Okay, so here we are. We'll get a real idea of the numbers only when it gets somewhere like, I'm trying to think, where will it start to fan out? Realistically, Piccadilly Circus. It will obviously approach Piccadilly Circus from a different route to last week. Last week, it started at the BBC headquarters, Upper Regent Street area. Okay, went down Regent Street, Piccadilly Circus. This week, we're much further from Piccadilly Circus. We need to walk the entire length of Piccadilly. Bear in mind, Piccadilly's what, I don't know, 10-minute walk south from where I am now. Well, the police have formed me up. Roughly a 10-minute walk down that way south, and then left at the bottom. That'll take us on to Piccadilly. From there, it's a good, let me think, mile and a half-ish, give or take. Probably about 1.2 miles, I would think, along Piccadilly. It's quite a walk. Piccadilly's a fairly wide avenue. Is it as wide as Park Lane? Actually, yeah, it probably is, thinking about it. But once those numbers hit Piccadilly Circus, there will obviously be other groups that will join in as well. And like last week, all of a sudden, X thousand ends up being, you know, 5 or 10 times that. So if they said they're going to start in 5 to 10 minutes, let me just have a look at the local time on my other phone, folks. Yeah, it's going to be quite a track, this one. Let's hope that I can manage to film it cleanly. Okay, so it's 12:13, or 13 minutes past noon. So there is a very good chance they'll be heading off any moment. Let me ask, 1 second. Do you know what time everyone's leaving to start the march?
A few minutes.
A few minutes, yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent. Ah, great stuff, thank you. Okay, so just a few minutes, apparently. Here we are, right at the front, everybody. Worthing and Ada. Worthing is a seaside town on the south coast of England. I don't actually know where ADUR is. Never heard of that. I'm not sure if that's a UK town. Never heard of ADUR? Unless I'm misunderstanding what that means. I'll ask somebody if I can. Sorry, can I ask you, what is ADUR? I know where Worthing is. What's ADUR?
Arden. It's the district.
Oh, okay. So Worthing's a town, and that's within the district of...
Two constituencies, and the other one is Worthing and Ada.
Oh, I'm English. I've never heard of Ada before. I'm shocked.
It's West Worthing and East Worthing and Ada.
Ah, understood. Thank you for explaining.
Ada is the name of the river.
Ah, is it the River Ada?
The River Ada.
Oh, that's a new one to me. Yeah,
And basically it comes out of Shoreham.
okay. River Ada.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Worthing West and East Worthing and Shoreham. So we've got members in both places.
Ah, there we have it. Thank you for the explanation. Very kind and thoughtful ladies there. From Worthing and Ada. Ada is a district, it's also a river, and Worthing, as mentioned, is a seaside town on the south coast of England. You want to meet? I'm learning a little bit about the geography of my own country whilst I'm here at a protest about what's going on in another country. How lucky am I? Free geography lesson, everybody. Remarkably enough, the architecture from where we're standing, this is the Hilton on Park Lane, look at that. Complete with the Windows restaurant right there on the top floor. Office space and so on over here for corporates, and then some very jazzy, snazzy, expensive apartments, other hotels, blah blah blah, all the way along Park Lane. Very, 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 very rich part of London. Postcode is W1, folks, West 1. So absolute prime central London, this is. Now, if they've still been filming up all of this time while I've been here, then goodness gracious me, the numbers are going to be fairly extraordinary. Now, the reason I like to get out and film this, guys, and ideally not pause, not edit, not change in any way what I get. In fact, there are two reasons why. One, that way you get to see exactly what happened, okay? No usual media spin, no BBC nonsense or whitewashing. You get to see only what happened, nothing more. I comment on what I see. I don't take a stance this side, that side, whatever. I'm here to document and record what happens on the day. Even if that means I get myself into trouble. But hey, here we are. So that is going to be the focus of today, trying to stay ahead of the protest between this starting point and where it reaches Downing Street. Now, I'm conscious of the fact that although I've got plenty of battery on the phone and plenty of storage on the phone, it's going to be a bit of a bumper one, this. 20 minutes already, process about to start. Let me see, the walk to Downing Street, I would think worst way, absolute worst way, would take between 1 hour and 90 minutes. Now, have I got enough battery for that? Probably. I'll worry about that if and when it happens. Or potentially, I might actually end the first video at Piccadilly Circus and start a second one. That way we can have two separate videos without editing. Let's see how it goes. I'll decide that once we're underway. The other annoying thing is once this phone is recording, it doesn't show me the battery percentage actively on the screen, which is a pain in the whatevers as well. It's normally good for a few hours, so we should be fine. Extremely varied group here. Helicopters above, probably Sky News, maybe the BBC one's definitely the police. Let me get myself a teeny weeny bit down here, because if I'm behind the line, I will see not only when they move, but more importantly, I then know when the protest is about to start moving. So here we are in the middle of Park Lane. It's a bit odd actually to be walking in the middle of Park Lane, because this road is normally absolutely chocker with traffic. Why? Well, several reasons. First of all, it goes up to Marble Arch. And secondly, Marble Arch then becomes Oxford Street. In other words, it is probably the most famous, give or take. I know we have the Champs-Élysées, but it's definitely one of the world's most famous shopping streets, most famous shopping districts. And there's a camp, a contemporary camp has been set up over here. Now I have no idea if that's to do with the protest or whether it's one of those Roma gypsy camps that tend to crop up in the centre here. The council do close them down. It looks to me at the moment like the police are clambering over. I'm not sure if they're going to see what's going on here, or whether they're just clambering over to get over to the main body here. Curious sight there. It's like a little sort of campfire situation going on in the centre of London. Oh, this fellow's brave. Say again? What is this?
Homeless or with them?
I'm just wondering. I personally think that these are probably Roma gypsies, but maybe some of the people with them. I can't really tell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hard to say. Yeah, I think Roma gypsy camp. There's a Japanese journalist up on the wall there asking me if I know if it's Roma gypsies or part of the protesters. Running looks like a teeny weeny bit late, actually. It's always annoying when it starts late because people get a little bit frustrated with having to stand in the same position for ages. Now, the upside for everybody that's here anyway today is that it's now not raining. Why is that an upside? Well, because it was pouring down 30-40 minutes ago. Oh, I've actually started a little campfire over here. Look, maybe they're cooking me a sausage sandwich. Yummy! Wouldn't that be lovely? Guys, I'm over here. Brown sauce with my order. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Right, so let's have a little stroll down here while we're waiting. Why? Why not? So much fun, eh? Yeah? Yep. Okay, so the photographer using his super zoom lens to film what's going on. He said, I think they're Roma gypsies. Not that it matters, but hey, we like to clarify things. Right, we've got a small army of reinforcements over here, as you can see. On the side streets over here, I sort of went past it a little bit, but it's there. There's also another line of vans filled with officers. So should things get a little bit hairy, they will probably have the numbers. There'll be multiple squads of this size and larger scattered around this area. As I mentioned, they're opposite the Lanesborough. They're tucked around Wellington Arch, Hyde Park Corner, typically in squads of 20 plus officers. A lot of officers. Yep. All police leave across London apparently has been cancelled today, I was told earlier this morning. Now, that would certainly explain it. The route is a very long route. It's much longer than last week's route, and that means it's harder to police. Why? Well, there could be a whole bunch of disparate groups joining this main band as it heads towards Downing Street. Why is that a problem? Well, because if the police can't estimate the numbers that are going to be protesting, they don't know how many bodies they're going to need to police the protest. Hence the helicopter keeping a rough tally. Still curious that they haven't actually yet set off. It's going to be a very, very large body of people once they get moving, I can tell you that, without a doubt. Probably hear that helicopter above me. I should have bought a bicycle. The only problem is I'm not very good at riding zero-handed on the public highway. Hope, actually, for the sake of everybody that's here today for the protest, that they bought waterproofs under an umbrella. The forecast today is not for heavy rain. However, all morning, and I mean all morning, since I woke up at around 8:30, it was pretty much chucking down. I wonder who it is that actually gives a sort of, okay, we're off signal. That's what I'm wondering here. Why? Because obviously there has to be a person that's responsible. Now, is the issue the road closure of Piccadilly? Are they waiting for extra numbers to join at the top? I wonder what it could be. Why the delay? You can actually go and do a little bit of jewellery shopping in Musayef, guys, over there, the jewellery shop at the London Hilton on Park Lane. The only problem is I'm not rich enough, so I guess I have to continue making my own origami jewellery at home. Now, I might actually be blessed with some sunshine, people. It's looking quite bright here. It's looking very bright here. Long live Gaza. All the people between myself and the protest are press photographers, independent photographers, etc., and other bloggers, YouTubers, TikTokers, whatever. I'm not live streaming this today. Why? Because it's a flipping nightmare. And two, sometimes if things go wrong, the TikTok algorithm is exceedingly temperamental vis-a-vis terminating lives. Hence it's being recorded in glorious 4K for your viewing pleasure. Wherever you are around the world watching this video. Look at this. It's remarkable how the sun just came out and hit the front of the protest. Really remarkable. The light is shining on them. What do we want? You guys to move. When do we want it? Now. Okay, so Lily's telling everybody to move to the back if they're part of the demonstration. I'm not part of it. I'm recording it, so I'm not moving to the back. I don't really think anybody's going to march all the way north to the top of Park Lane. You must be joking. It's a flipping half-a-mile walk. I think people are just trying to sort of push in generally on the sides as it begins. Can't say I blame them, it's a bit cheeky, but hey, no point in walking all the way out there if you need to walk all the way back down here once they get moving. Now the interesting thing is that on the way in, as usual, lots of tourists. Hey, talking about Buckingham Palace, lots of visitors from the US in London, and there always are on Saturday mornings. I don't know why, it's almost like some sort of a pilgrimage for US visitors, always heading to Buckingham Palace, always going to the palace for pictures or just a vibe, whatever. And today was no different. If they're en route and they see this lot, they're going to have something of a surprise, because it'd be a bit like if if I were in Paris on holiday and all of a sudden a massive protest just turned out, I'd be kind of like, what's this about? How do I behave? Where is it going? Blah blah blah. Is it going to be peaceful? Is it going to kick off? One never knows. Oh, let's hope that they don't decide to move while this chap on his little stall is filming them. That could be somewhat awkward. Super view though along the front, haven't we? If they're still forming up after all this time, we're already way over 10,000, I can tell you that from previous experience, way over. So who is going to make that call to start moving? At the moment they are 27 minutes late. That being the case, my money's on them leaving at noon, noon 30, 12:30. Excuse me, folks. Horseguards goes today, obviously, not really a surprise, but then again, the key sites in London that are, we say, potentially vulnerable are closed for, and maybe out of security reasons. It's not really a surprise. Of course, it's the right call. They need to be policing sensitive sites as well as a massive protest like this. Numbers are getting exceedingly large, and they really, really look almost fully into the bushes here. It's right across the road. Really, really, they're pushing up, forming up massively on the line. Front group of stewards here, I think. I'll just check if we're ready to go. And we're off, everybody. We're off. Okay, I'm right at the front. I say we're off. Here we go. Finally moving. I'm going to be super careful. I'm not going to be filming the protest looking backward all the way there. It's too far to walk. Walking backwards, way too far. So I'll be sort of switching to what's in front of me, and at key points when the protest pauses, I'll flip round and film behind me. I will try and get at some point between here and Piccadilly Circus a higher vantage point. I can't promise it, and offhand I can't think of one, but let's see how it goes. Give much more of an idea of the vast numbers if I can get us to an elevated position. That said, I tried to do that last week and I couldn't find one. I've no idea why they're moving back again. Did they head off prematurely? I mean, let's be fair, guys. None of us like to do anything prematurely, least of all this. It's a little bit disorganised at the front. Last week it was much more under control. Annoying enough, it's also starting to rain. This temperamental weather here is a flipping nightmare. You don't know how to dress for it or prepare for it. One minute it's sunny, the next minute it's like this. Okay, let me take this opportunity to start moving back. That way I can film as the protest approaches.
Yeah, I would say that's the best.
Numbers are considerable. Yeah, I think if anything does kick off, we've got it more than under control. I really wish that there was a way of waterproofing this gimbal properly, but there isn't. Except there is not a downpour. If there is, I will have to take shelter somewhere. But for the moment, we're alright. I'm happy to let it get wet. I just don't want to get absolutely soaked. If it takes much longer, I'll actually end this and wait until they begin to move, and then start a second video, you know, main protest. This is a sort of build-up video, I guess, in some respects, so that even though I like to shoot the whole thing as one non-edited video. We have a very long day for everybody here today, but that's for sure. Judging by the overflow that's coming around and joining from the sides, I think people are getting impatient at the back and sort of working their way down to the front in a prime spot as they march. Yeah, you can see the people that are coming around the corner there, past that tree on the left, and trying to join in at the front or try to push in. It all looks very disorganised compared to last week. Last week was clean. Behind me about whether or not this will end up being like BLM. I mean, it will if they get the numbers. It's actually quite extraordinary how many encampments there are. I've just spotted another one over here, look. I'm genuinely surprised that they're permitted, look. People actually living in these fairly sizable tent encampments in the middle of London. Everyone knows the cost of living crisis, but that's a bit extreme, isn't it? A lot of people arriving from the south end as well, probably just got to Hyde Park Corner tube station. I'm feeling a little bit peckish, but do you think that it would be a good idea to eat that banana or not? I mean, it doesn't look completely rancid. I wonder if I'd be ill if I ate it. What do we think? Okay, let's take a bite and see. Of course not. I mean, seriously, you think I'm stupid? Of course I'm not going to eat the banana. It might have been left there purposely to poison somebody. I'm not falling for those tricks. God, it's all over the place. Look at this sort of sub-protest. Damn, I would be super cautious trying to jump over there with a gimbal, that weighty kit. See, look, the sun's back again. We went from sunny to rainy to sunny again. I don't even know why people are jumping and going both ways. Very odd state of affairs. They're actually telling off everybody that's here at this end, that's arriving, and telling them to go round. Look. Obviously a lot of people don't want to go round. Oh, flipping out. Wait, yeah. Look. Trying to move everybody behind, but a lot of people don't want to go behind. Goodness me. What time do you think the protest will start? It's after 12:30 already. Yeah. Yeah. It's like good numbers, bigger than last week, I think. Yeah. Uh-huh. If anything, the problem today might be that there are too many people. It's all a huge, squishy, what's the word I'm looking for? Just a squishy, disorganised, massive amount of people right now. It's not a protest yet. All the way into the central reservation area, completely jammed. They're almost holding them back behind the second line. This first line of the stewards, voluntary stewards. See this second line with the unfurled banner. They're going to move any moment, I'm sure. Move myself back before the massive photographers start to move and I get knocked out of the way. Numbers are completely squashed all the way over against the wall that side and into the bushes on the other side. Yeah, I think we're in for a surprise today. I think the numbers are going to far exceed last week. everyone, police included, stewards, arriving protesters, everybody is thinking, hold on a second, what's the delay? The noise above me, guys, is well, actually, in fact, there are multiple helicopters. Sorry about that, that's one thing I have got no control over. It's going to be very, very tricky filming this because there are so many photographers, even compared to last week. And the second this moves, they're all going to be dashing around trying to get, you know, the key shot from the key positions on. Look, TV crews here, setting up as well. Police are boarding this. Wait, I'm not sure that is whether the police are boarding or whether this very unfortunate truck driver has just got himself stuck. He's not going anywhere in that massive vehicle, not for the moment. It's very unfortunate. Coming through to the front, it really is all over the place. I think the police are talking with some of the stewards to gauge when exactly they're going to be leaving. So lots and lots, huge groups are forming up on the edges.
To go around, please. Thank you very much. To go around.
And this is going to be interesting because it's going to be a real squish. Okay, so it seems, I'm pretty sure the lady in the yellow is Ob commander for today. I don't know, but I think she is. Hopefully they'll shortly be leaving. Apologies to any. I've got no police or military leaks, guys. Apologies if I'm getting like ranks or whatever wrong. But she seems to be the boss on the ground, at least here. The lady in the yellow caps. I've got no idea what the different colours of caps mean. Lot behind me wearing navy caps. Some are wearing white caps. Some are wearing yellow caps. Okay, so they're trying to clear the pavement. The reason they're trying to clear the pavement is that they're about to start moving.
Move on the left pavement, please.
Obviously the process can't move out properly until the road is clear. This is going to be very difficult to achieve. There are just too many people. Even on a massive avenue like this. Okay, it's not quite, you know, Champs-Élysées massive, but it's pretty massive in terms of British streets. One second, guys, let me ask. Sorry, officer, can I ask you a quick question? I don't know if it's sensitive. Why do you guys wear different colour caps? What do the caps denote?
Different ranks.
Okay, so who would be like the boss, yellow or red?
Yellow.
Is yellow? Ah, lady boss. Oh. Okay, understood. Well, oh, wait, so if yellow's the top, what's the bottom? Will they be blue?
The blue is the PCs.
Okay.
So they're the ones that do all the real work.
Yep. Ah. Wait, so what are you then with red in the middle? Inspector. Okay, so what would be the rank of somebody wearing yellow?
Yellow would be chief inspector.
Oh, really?
It can be an inspector, but normally a chief inspector.
Oh, wow. Okay. They're running late, aren't they?
Always do, don't they?
Yeah, this has stopped
There's
raining.
many people, it's always going to be the case.
Yeah, I think, what do you think, more than last week? Or, I mean, it looks pretty...
From what I'm being told, I can't see that far back, unfortunately.
Yep.
But I'm being led to believe it goes down.
Really? Whoa. Okay, thank you very much.
Good day.
You too. Wow, okay, right back to Marble Arch. We are talking some very, very serious numbers. In fact, if it is really all the way back, I noticed the way that he said it as well, if, you know, what we're being told, if he's right about that, and I've got no reason to think he's not, he being an inspector, as he said, wow. Some instincts were right. The yellow cap is an inspector or a chief inspector, in other words, the boss on the ground in this area, lady boss. hold on, a music system's here on a bike. Not sure where the hell he's going to try and go with that with this many people. He's not going to get very far. Okay, so as he said, the people, like police humour, the officer said the navy caps, as we see over here, are regular PCs, the ones that do the real work. Oh, controversial. In fact, the ones that do the real work. Interesting that he said that though, he being an inspector himself. Friendly guy, and I'm glad he was happy to talk to me. So the ranks are as follows: navy caps, PCs at the bottom, then we've got the white caps. Didn't know which rank that is, didn't ask. Then above that, the white caps are the red caps. And then above the red caps, as he said, are the inspectors or chief inspectors. And I've only seen one yellow cap, so she is the boss on the ground. How's that for a massive amount of responsibility, folks? Responsibility for the safety of a crowd, tens of thousands large. Good Lord. The trouble that because they still haven't set off, the longer they make everybody wait, the more impatient people get to push to the front, and that's what's happening. There's an overflow situation going on. Right, they're finally moving. Finally moving. Off we go. Right. Off we go, folks. So this is the view behind me. As you can see, I'm going to have extreme difficulty making sure I don't bash into anybody. So walking backwards is going to be a real challenge. I will try, as I mentioned before at key points, to walk backward when I know there's nobody I might bash into. So if the camera is a bit wonky on occasion, that's the reason, people. I've got to be very mindful that there could be kids or other people walking behind me. I've got no idea how fast this is going to move either, but at the moment it's coming on pretty fast. It's walking forward faster than I can walk backwards. And therein lies the problem. Okay, so let's continue this way for a little bit. Get ourselves to the southern end of Park Lane, where we will meet Piccadilly. This guy trying to balance himself between two bollards. Look at this. He must be crazy to do that. It's way too slippery. No, it's just like... He's crazy. It's super slippery on those metal bollards. Look, somebody's helping him, but I wouldn't want to risk it. Good photo op, but nah, that's way too risky. Okay, I'm nowhere near the bottom. Loads of people, as you can see, still funneling up to join the protest. Yeah, judging by the look on the officer's face, I wouldn't say it was a concerned look. It was more of a sort of surprised look. Yeah, the numbers. Plus, they've got riot helmets out already. Look. Now, I haven't seen anything negative at all. I'm not for a moment suggesting that anything bad will happen. The police are just prepared, as they always are for large events, because it might become a public order issue. Hence, officers lining the route, riot helmet, batons, and so on, ready just in case it all kicks off. Hopefully, it won't. It didn't last week. I didn't see it, and I was there. So there's no reason to believe it will this week. That said, one actually never knows. It's as simple as that. Anything could happen. The light might be a bit dodgy this way as well. The light will get better in a minute, because at the moment I'm facing into the darkness, as it were. Notice the light's much better behind me. Murky rain cloud though above the protest. Let's hope it doesn't pour down. Even if it does, I'm reasonably convinced it will not change anything. The protest will continue exactly as it has been, even if it absolutely pours down. Right, so we've just hit the bottom, completely closed it now obviously, the bottom of Park Lane, very southern end of Park Lane. Police vehicles here already closing and coning out. Dozens of TSG vans parked in and around Wellington Arch in the background, obviously reinforcements if needed. Let's hope they're not. This kid is a one-man protest band. He's actually smiling because the press photographer took his picture. The thing is, if this is going to be a stop-start affair, this could take up half the afternoon. Let's hope it doesn't end up being a stop-start affair, but these things you never know. Police. 2 helicopters behind me. I can see one in the distance over there in the sky. Probably just about make it out. 3 helicopters at the moment. Hopefully once it hits Piccadilly, it will become more fluid and start to move.
Free, free Palestine!
Okay, interesting. He's not actually going to all the protests though, which is a little curious. You think he would want to join in? Right, what I'm going to do, folks, because of the nature of this stop, start, I don't know what they're doing. I'm going to put this video up separate as a prelude to the main protest. If any of you sort of want to watch or are fascinated with, you know, the way these events start, public order aspect, the way the police fan out, and obviously the numbers, this is the video to be watching, or hopefully you've enjoyed watching it. I will start another one in a few minutes when we actually start moving on Piccadilly, because otherwise, potentially, I could end up with no juice, no storage, and no video. So back in part 2, the main protest unedited.